One of them, just to sum up the story, one of them left a used period pad on top of the sink on our side of the suite, which was just like that to me. That was a declaration of war.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to fight after that. I really wanted to fight.
How'd you get her back? Shaved off her clitoris? What'd you do? Oh, I
wanted to, but what happened was after that semester they went to they studied abroad, so I didn't see them again until the next.
Sure took their passport. That'd have really fucked them up.
I would have laughed. I'd have laughed.
Oh, yeah. Man, they would have
got mad at you.
Where were you 8 years ago? I would have did that.
Oh yeah. I was master of pettiness back then.
Oh man,
I've since evolved. I'm a grown man now. Yeah, I just turned 18.
Respectfully.
Yes,
all right, respectfully. So, all right, give us 10.
My actions might be respectfully, but this mouth ain't.
Oh my, that's what she said.
Are you guys ready? All right, 10.
All right, so really quick.
Okay.
If you want to kind of like size yourself into the screen, I can leave it over here too, so you could kind of look over every now and then.
Okay.
But yeah, you look good like that.
Oh, my head's not blocking it. Okay, all right.
We all good? Y'all comfortable with y'all positions? Because I'm like the only one who's kind of like off a little bit.
You can come in. I'm not going to stop you. I don't.
Yeah, you good. You good.
All right, you know if I'm getting too close. Right?
Nah, you good. You good.
I'm not in the middle.
Yeah, sure.
If you got a fuse, we can fuse.
Fusion?
Whenever you're ready, you can start.
All right, cool. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7,
6,
5,
3,
4.
17.
He does this all the time. 3, 2,
7,
1.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to the Excuse Me Brother podcast show. I'm your host, Brother Jay.
Thank you, the bro.
I am the bro. And to my immediate right, we have a special guest, but I'll get him in a second. But to my far right,
what's up? I'm the bro. I'm Tay.
Brother Tay. And with us, with us, this is a special episode because we have a special guest. We have with us Mr. Mr. YouTube, a YouTuber, content creator. He's a stand-up comedian. He is a budding entrepreneur. He is a budding fashionista. Is that the proper term?
I wouldn't know. I don't know where you were going with that one.
Listen.
Isn't fashionista someone who makes a line or someone who models?
I just know somebody in fashion.
Yeah, that's what I got. I thought baristas. I was like, we making coffee now? I work.
Yeah, I know at Bobby's department store, so I don't know.
Okay, he's a budding clothing developer. Let's go with that one.
Okay, all right.
We have us with Mr. Dave Antoine, also known as the diligent, the vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the Chiseled Adonis.
Wow, you actually remembered it. That's wow.
I practiced that.
You are the first one to pull that off. You know that? You didn't really say it in the speed, but round of applause for you. A lot of people, they don't get it right. They twist on their tongue.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine.
You got to say it 3 times in a row. Diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical, individual. The Chiseled Adonis. You know?
He already showing out. Damn.
Yeah.
That's his title. That's his show.
Show.
It'd be kind of wild if he didn't know.
Wait, real
not
quick.
that bad.
How did you come up with that?
Oh, I was just sitting, ironically enough, I believe this was when I tried to shoot my own podcast, within the first 3 months of me starting social media, and I wasn't too sure what was going on. So literally live, because I did everything just in one take. So I was just sitting there like, I need an intro. So I was thinking to myself, just different words that came to my mind, and those words came to my mind. So I said, all right. Diligent, vigilant, meticulous, those are all, fairly similar. Now, they may not sound the same, but the definitions are very close together. So, and then sagacious and what are the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, those two were somewhat similar as well. So I said, okay, I'll use those, methodical individual, put it all together, and then bam. I'll leave Chiseled Adonis at the end, add that on top, and then that was the introduction.
Works out.
It definitely worked out. How did you come up with Chiseled Adonis?
Okay, so there's a throwback story. Okay, so this goes back to 4th grade. So I was in 4th grade. I'll make it short so it's not too long-winded. But I was in 4th grade. I remember I went to school. I don't know if my mother had gotten me some new lotion or something of that nature, or if I took my father's lotion. I don't know what the deal was. But I went to school, and there was some young lady who was there, and she said, "Ooh, you smell good." I'm like, oh my, I've never received a compliment like this before.
And things are coming
forever. Oh, absolutely. Things are coming up Millhouse. And then she also went along the lines to say I was attractive. So, oh wow. See, now I know you're lying, but I'll take the compliment. So I went back to class. I had my feet up on the desk, and then I'll never forget my teacher, Miss Esposito. Shout out to her. You know, she did crack. But she had told me, hey, why do you have your feet up on the table? And I was like, well, so-and-so said I looked cute and I smelled nice. She said, oh, you think you're some kind of Adonis? I'm like, the hell does Adonis mean? So then she said, oh, it means the god of beauty. I'm like, I'll take it. So from that particular point, Adonis became my password on because this was back in 2003, 2004. So this is when we were just starting to use the internet and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it was on my it was my password for everything. I can't remember what my username was. It was probably my name or numbers or some shit like that. But then afterwards, when I got to high school, I started playing football. My sophomore year, I got in crazy shape because I went to high school. I was like 135 pounds. By the time my sophomore year started, I had put on like 20 pounds of muscle. So I started getting shape. And my coach, Coach Marinello, that's my guy. He never did crack. But he had told me, oh, yo, you're getting chiseled. So I said, okay. So then that became my new username for everything. So my password was Adonis. My username was Chiseled. So then from that particular point, once I got done with high school, and then I needed, I was make it for the student loans that I should have never took out. I needed to have a username on there. I needed to have a username on there on my Nelnet, and then Chiseled Adonis became the username, and I just rolled with that up until now. So I've had the name. I put it together in 2012, and then since then, Chiseled Adonis been rolling with it.
High school football coaches give him the best nicknames.
They do. See, he played high school football. I played lacrosse, so it was
really,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
what was that like? Because I know the hand-eye coordination
that's
got to be well, not really hand, more like the net, stick eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is like it's a skill that you have to learn. You know what I mean? Because you got to cradle, you got to pass, and you got to do it with both hands. You know what I mean? So it's not like
were you a defender with the longer stick, or you was an attacker?
No, I was an attack. Because I'm too short to be a defenseman. You know what I mean?
Look,
the stick is taller than me. I mean, no, but still, like the stick is 6 feet tall.
The stick is 6 foot tall
for defenders.
All right.
So,
interesting. So if somebody ever brings inanimate objects to life, sticks about to be in the NBA. They're gonna be playing guard somewhere.
Yeah, that's
6 foot.
Taking on Kemba Walker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That brother not clutch.
So let's rewind all the way back to the beginning. Obviously you were born of Haitian immigrants, right? In Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
What part of Brooklyn?
We were in East Flatbush up until I was about 6, but I lived in Mill Basin ever since.
I have no idea what Mill Basin is.
By Kings Plaza.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know what Kings Plaza is at.
Oh, look at you learning.
Huh?
What?
Okay, so real quick
about Brooklyn.
Real quick. He disrespects me on a daily basis every time we come here.
Oh, really?
Every time.
So that's how it meshes.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, so you like the level head, I'm going to stay calm, and I'm going to attack him and make it work. That's like the yin and yang. I like it. I like it.
And that's kind of how we developed the show.
Okay.
Because real quick backstory on the title of the show, because we actually never explained this. We never got a chance to explain it. So me and him used to work togetger at Target, right? And in the beginning, I couldn't stand his ass.
That's how most friendships work.
That's how it started. Because I was his trainer.
You were a trainer.
I was his team trainer.
He was there longer than me.
So he was about to become you were going to be his replacement.
Technically, I was supposed to be.
Oh, but there it is. That's usually how that happens.
He actually surpassed me. Because I wound up leaving Target before he did. But I trained him. In the beginning, he was slow, he was lazy, and he was quiet. 3 combinations, and he followed me around everywhere. So I'm like, bro, if you're gonna follow me around, you gotta work and you gotta talk to me. All right, I can't just be doing all the talking, all the working.
The sad part is I was mostly just listening until I knew what to do.
Yeah,
because I was just replaying it in my head. But
so eventually,
then he got me to talk after maybe 2-3 weeks after I figured out everything, and I was like, all right, now I'm comfortable in everything. Now I started to talk.
So you never spoke because you were uncomfortable.
I wouldn't say uncomfortable, because in my head this was a lot of stuff to learn about Target, and Target was a huge it spent the whole parking lot on top. If you ever go to the Target in the Bronx, it's near the
the Bronx.
Yeah, the Queens.
Oh, God bless you, but I'm happy you escaped. You still there?
Yes. No, the Target. No, not the Target.
Oh, thank God. You still in the Bronx?
Yeah, that's
Oh no,
That's where we
I
both
didn't
came
know
from.
this. We
That's
got
not what we
hands.
gonna
We
talk
got
about.
sanitizer. I came from the Bronx. Damn, I shouldn't have agreed to that. Excuse me, brother. Y'all ain't let me
He's
know.
got
this.
it.
See, there you go.
I know.
Look, you
Yeah,
already
but-
talked to me for 10 minutes. You already used the title.
Oh, well, there it is. There it
Because
is.
that's okay. So you saw the Dave Chappelle Netflix specials, right?
Yeah, I didn't see the one he just released. I think like 2 days ago.
But you saw the first one, right?
Yeah.
So in that stand up, he was talking about how he was supposed to go to Flint, Michigan, but he wound up going to the Oscars, right?
Yeah.
And at the Oscars, he got confronted by an independent black journalist, and they walked up to him saying, "Excuse me, brother, can I get a minute of your time?" He was like, "Anytime somebody calls you brother too many times, you know something bad about to happen."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So me and him will walk up to each other at work saying, "Excuse me, brother, can I get a minute of your time?" That's how we would greet each other.
And I ignore him. I would run away faster.
So
Normally, it has something me doing extra work.
Damn.
so he went to school for broadcast journalism. I went to school for business. So he was like, you know what, let's put it together
Okay.
and
Thus, Excuse Me,
Big
Brother
Brother.
podcast was born.
He came up with the title because he even. I want you to know he ain't tell me nothing.
I just
You
he
just
was-
pulled
I just-
up.
he
Bam.
was-
Excuse me, brother.
I literally,
You was here.
I found the Brooklyn podcast,
Yeah.
this whole studio, which is very lovely,
Mhm.
and I'm happy I work here now as well.
Ah, nice. Oh, so you no longer at Target. You work here.
I work here and some other jobs.
I
All
can't tell
right.
you
Some
where
other job. Oh,
Like, I
my.
keep busy.
I can't
Alright.
tell you where I work.
Damn.
We ain't not gonna talk about that.
No,
as soon as
I'll just. He's gonna laugh.
No.
You strip on Tuesdays?
No.
I used to.
What? Okay, we'll get into that.
I can't
Nah,
confirm
we're
no
getting to
design
it
said
now.
We'll
Hold
get-
on, wait a minute.
I cannot confirm no design said sentence.
Excuse me, brother.
Was Chisel Don's the name?
Hmm?
Exactly.
I actually work for the MTA. So
Oh, do you?
yes,
Damn. And you still getting delayed. That's
you
wild.
see the pain.
Oh,
That's the
my
joke.
I
God.
know
Me too.
firsthand.
Damn.
So-
you in the train or you on the bus?
Neither.
What other MT? Well,
He's on the track.
I'm on the
you
track.
You
brother.
on the track?
I'm
Oh,
on
you one of the laborers.
Yeah.
Putting your life on the line on the third rail.
Not on it, but yeah, close to it.
Damn. Have you
Yeah.
ever been tempted? Like, I want to see what that electricity hitting for.
Nah,
Never.
I've heard of incidents.
Yeah, I would have as well. I would have as well. Because when I was younger, I was huge like Pokemon fan. Still am. But
Yeah.
I'd see Pikachu shock people like, man, I wonder what that feel like. And then I'd be seeing like homeless people mess around. They get electrocuted and shit. I'm like, yeah, that shit don't look cool, man. That don't look cool.
Never seen that. I never seen homeless get
Yeah,
shot.
I mean, I ain't seen it with my own eyes, but you know,
you
the
hear
internet
it.
got everything.
But no, it's nothing to play with. It's very serious. People have obviously died. It's very serious work. It's very dangerous work. So, but as you can see, what it did to me today. That's the trade off. So let's go back to the beginning, right? What did you always want to be when you were coming up as an adolescent? Did you want to play football professionally?
Oh yeah. I had huge dreams of playing football professional. I played in high school, played in college, and then it came to a point where I kind of had that realization moment, like, damn, because I went to community college first. Well, it wasn't necessarily community college; it was a JUCO. So because it was a JUCO, you're playing a system where it's like it's a 2-year college, and they play other like ranked community college. But this one in particular wasn't an actual community college, but they were just in the same.
It was in the
sort
JUCO
of thing.
system.
Yeah, it was in the JUCO system, and they had just came off of a championship. They were constantly sending players to different sort of, whether it's D2, D1,
really?
D3, and stuff of that nature. Yeah, I went to Alfred State College.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah, and I
okay.
was playing up there, and then my very first game in college, I started because the starting receiver he had gotten hurt.
Oh, you were a
so I
wide
started.
receiver?
Yeah, I played wide receiver.
Okay.
I was guessing of the wide receiver or D-back based on the way you
it was
told
one,
me.
yeah, it was one or the other.
Yeah, it was one or the other.
So and I was like, all right, this is great. I'm starting. I have an opportunity, get stuff done. Very first game, I had a catch on the opening drive. Never had the ball thrown my direction for the rest of the season. But when the start head came back, the coach, I'll never forget this because it bothers me till this day. He had told me, he's like, all right, great. We're gonna start him, and I'm like, all right, because initially I was supposed to start on as the Z rather than the X. I started at the X because the X got hurt. He said, rather than put you at the Z and you'll start over there, I'd rather keep you behind him at the X because you know all the plays. And I sat there like, that don't make no sense. That's stupid. You're telling me I'm so educated in the offense that I got to stay on the bench? That's dumb, right? So when that happened, as we were going through the entire season, going into the following season, and then I didn't start the following season, but I was just in rotation. But then it was constantly balls not coming my way, the ball not coming my way, the ball not being thrown my way. And then the games in which it is thrown my way, it's not coming frequently. Now, granted, I'm not somebody who's going to beg, throw the football, things like that. But I'm like, damn, at least give me a chance. Give me a chance to do something. So it got to a point where I was a guy who loved practice. Like, I loved the game of football. You never had to try. I never had to feel like, wake up in the morning, I got practice.
I got practice.
Like,
in the morning.
I would leap out of bed, no matter what my body felt like. Didn't matter. When getting ready for training camp, my 3rd year in college, I hesitated. And that was the first time I ever hesitated my entire life to possibly go to practice, because I knew I had about a week until training camp started, because I had to go travel to go upstate to go to school. So within a week, and I had been training all summer and everything. And I'm like, man, this is my opportunity. All those other people that the coaches loved and kept putting in front of me and everybody. This is my spot to start. The other coaches, they were telling me, like, going through spring training and everything, I was in a position where I'd be the starter. Yeah. And I put in all this work, and I'm like, yo, I'm hesitating. Why am I hesitating? So then I would go to the field, I'm running my wind sprints, everything of that nature. But then now it's like, I don't know if I want to go back. And I love the game too much. So because I love the game so much, I'm like, I don't want to go there and feel like I'm going through the motions. That's disrespectful to the game. I put in, at this particular point, 6 years of my life into this thing. If I'm hesitating now, I'm probably going to hesitate later. So then once that happened, I'm like, yeah, I got to figure out what it is that I want to do with my life, because football ain't going to work out. And I had 2 years of eligibility left. We transitioned after my first year into a D3 school, my second year. So I would have to have, for all intents and purposes, one spectacular season my junior year to get a transfer
to like a D1
to a D1 or D2. Well, I can't even really say. If I were to go to a D2, it'd have to be like one of the top ranked D2s. And then we're in a situation where our quarterback was a senior who had transferred back my sophomore year to finish his because he was a sophomore, he won the championship with them, got a scholarship, went somewhere else for his junior year, ended up coming back. So when that was the case, I'm like, all right, great. We got a quarterback now who knows the system. That was my second year, but then it was still the ball being thrown in rotation, not coming my way. So my junior year, when I decided I wasn't going back, they were still going through a phase where they didn't know who was going to be playing quarterback. So now I'm going into what should be the most important season of my life
without a starting
quarterback. No questions regarding a ton of questions regarding the offensive line. We still got a great, sensational running back, but the way that things are looking, they're going to just keep handing him the football.
Tell him to make plays.
Yeah, exactly. So since that's the reality of the situation, I'm like, yo, damn, I'm back up against the wall here. And I'm not in a position where I could just keep paying out of pocket to, go to school.
Right.
So now it's like, damn, do I take a year off and then try to come back? I don't think I want to do that.
You set yourself back by doing that. And I know how athletes are. Like, once you get into that mode, you try to stay in that mode instead of, coming, like, taking a year off and then try to get back into it. It's the same thing with students in general. Like, some people who don't go to college right after high school, they'd be like, damn, do I really want to go back to school? I'm going to take a year off and get back into it, or am I just going to keep going through it? Because that's what I did. I just went through it, even though I kind of didn't really know if I, like, strongly believe if I wanted to go to college, or if I was going to take a year off, maybe work or something, or if I was going to join the military. But I just, like, stayed through it. So I can understand, like, how that will put you in a position like, damn, I'm at a crossroads now.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hell of a position to be in, because even the thing, like, someone who just takes someone off, like, you can ask anybody, if they take a year off for anything, they're like, it's kind of hard to go back to it in general.
Because you have a process.
Yeah, you're so used. Like, once you put yourself in that sort of mode where you're like, okay, I'm now running this as a daily schedule. Once you take it off your daily schedule that's not planned, because, like, everyone goes to school and everyone has a summer vacation, and you take 3 months off. Once you take, like, 4 months off of school, you're like, do I really want to go to school? I can get a job.
Yeah, absolutely.
These bills got paid themselves. They ain't going to pay themselves.
Yeah, because that routine is so essential. Like, if you look at the maturation of children turning into adults and going through, whether it's elementary to junior high to high school to college, that structure is there.
Right.
So because that structure is there, you take a gap year or 2 gap years, you have to reteach yourself of, all right, this is how I study. This is how I learn. This is what I do. And if you were working, that time that you were doing, whether it's 9 to 5 or an 8 to 8 to 4 or whatever that time was, you now have to shift your attention span from constantly doing one thing to doing multiple different things, or sitting inside of a chair, or like the students had to deal with last year, going through virtual learning, which was brutal. So taking that gap year and throwing yourself off of that routine, it's brutal. So with me, I was like, yeah, I can't take time off. But luckily for me, my business law professor, one of the three most influential professors I've ever had in my life. And big shout out to Professor Rhodes. I forget his first name. It'll probably pop in my mind.
I'll just say it when
like
you
a
get
month from now.
Say when you get it.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. But he had told me, he pulled me to the side towards the tail end of the semester. I had a B+ in his class at the time. And he pulled me at the end of the semester. He was like, yo, this was like 2 weeks out. He said, yo, what are you doing here? And I was like, all right. That took me, I was a bit taken back. I'm like, what you mean? I'm here to get my degree. I'm in your business law class. This is what we're doing here.
Were you trying to study business?
Yeah, I was in business administration.
Okay.
And then I had shifted it to, no, I think this was afterward. No, this was during the same semester. I had shifted it to sports management, but it was business administration. And then I was in that program, and then he had asked me, like, yo, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, I'm here to get my degree. He's like, no. Do you not realize what you do in class? I'm like, what do you mean? And he ran down a list of the ways that I was entertaining in class, like the subtle things that I would do to not only make myself laugh, but make everybody else laugh. And I never gave it any thought because I wasn't necessarily the class clown per se, because usually with the class clown, they go out of their way to make people laugh.
Yes.
I was just a person who was just like, I would just say something, it's hilarious, motherfuckers is losing their mind.
Yeah.
They laughing and stuff. So I'm like, okay. And he ran it down. He's like, yo, go. You should probably, not to, take you off of your course that you're on, but maybe down the line, I could really see you in entertainment. Like, that's interesting. So he said, go back to your room, do like a life reflection and look through your entire life and see if there was a constant with this entertainment that you do. So I was like, okay. I thought back, I went back to my room and I sat there in complete silence, darkness, because my roommate, he played football too. So he was at practice at the time. I wasn't playing football. So I'm sitting there in like the dark for 2 hours, just going through my entire life from elementary to junior high to high school to now at that particular point in college. I'm like, yo, the one constant is comedy. It's always been comedy. So I'm like, wait. Yo, I think he's on to something. So immediately, I didn't even give it a second thought. I didn't consult nobody. I went straight to my academic advisor. I said, yo, switch my degree from a 4-year to a 2-year. I got to get up out of here, right? But I'm not going to leave without, I'm not going to just, I'm dropping out. Let me just pick up something from my parents. I'll say, all right, I got a degree, whatever. So luckily, I had enough credits to where I could finish that very semester, just get my associates and get up out of there. So then that's what I did. And then I knew I couldn't just make the lateral move to go straight into comedy because you need money to try to fund yourself. Because before I even thought about YouTube, it was immediately stand up. That was number one. I'm like, yeah, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get on stages for free and all this stuff. It's New York City. There's no way people is not trying to make this.
The New York City has their own rules. Where like, oh, you need to bring people that buy 5 drinks at the mill.
Absolutely.
The minimum.
Absolutely. You got to have like there's a bringer shows. They got open mics. Some mics, they're free. Some other mics you got to pay for. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take a year. I'll take the entire 2015. I'll work, save up my money. And then 2016, 110% straight into comedy. That's exactly what I did.
Any question?
Nice.
You wanna,
I'd like the idea of just a professor like telling him like, I want you to go to your class. I want you to go to your room and just reflect on your life. Because like normally when you don't normally get that from professor. You normally get it from like coaches. Because when the fact that I got into radio was because of my track and field coach in college. So normally you hear things like that from your coaches, never from professor. That was the shocking part to me. That's a good professor.
It's funny because some of my college professors, they didn't have those life conversations with us. You know what I mean? It was for a lot of them, it was just business as usual. You know what I mean? Because I went to St. John's in Queens. You know what I mean? It's a big school. It's got like 30,000 kids, all paying exorbitant amounts of money.
Oh yeah.
I can't handle all of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the fact that you were able to get that from a coach, like this brother said, it's
professor, coach. I mean, and the fact you're able to get it from anyone. Because you said you had 3.
Yeah, I got 3.
You had 3 people that were able to assist you like that. Some people were lucky enough they get 1 or 2.
One, exactly. So, kudos to those people who were influential in your lives. Speaking of influential, you said you wanted to go straight into comedy, right?
Yeah.
I know your favorite all-time comedian is the late great Patrice O'Neal, correct? First of all, do you try to model your comedic routine after him,
or your style?
or your style? I'm sorry. If so, why? And also, who are the others that you may try to model yourself after?
I wouldn't say I model myself after him because I think it's something that can't be replicated. But there's certain things that he would do that I try to incorporate. Like number one, I have to address whatever it is that I see in the room. Because the one thing that Patrice did was he was impossible. It was impossible to get him in a room, get him on the stage with the mic in his hand, and he would see something and not address it.
That is very
like if there's a lady who just like they're serving drinks or whatever in the back of the room, and you just saw, oh no, the server just poured the drink on her by accident, and she didn't yell but you can see the gasp. And somebody turns their head around to look at it. Oh, I got to speak about that.
No, absolutely.
Forget the jokes. We got to address what just happened.
But funny enough, someone's gonna look at it when this comes on YouTube, on your channel or mine, or the channels, both of them. Someone's gonna be like, "Why was it?" They're gonna look at me as soon as you say, "Oh, that teacher smoked crack." And they're gonna just see my eyes like, "Wait, hold on, we can't just skip." And we just go by it. I'm like, "Oh, we just all right, cool."
Yeah. And that's the number one thing that I applied that I had learned from him, because there was a ton of comedians who do it. Like everybody does crowd work for the most part. But with Patrice, it was on a whole other level because his crowd work would almost be funnier than his jokes. So it's like, how the hell you come up with this stuff on the fly? So I'm like, you know what? The one thing that I'm going to make sure I incorporate is that. And then the second thing that I had gotten from Patrice is in comedy, it's not always about everybody laughing. The one thing that you have to get accustomed to is that silence, because when you're speaking to the crowd and you got them pretty much in the palm of your hand and they're listening to everything that you're saying, that's power right there. But there's times in which some jokes aren't going to hit. And as Patrice always talked about, power corrupts. So the moment that the joke don't hit, if they can sense your uncomfortability with what just happened, like, damn, this hits everywhere, it ain't hit here. They notice that you're starting to crack under pressure. Oh, they're going to turn on you. Now they're not going to laugh at nothing.
Just to see where it goes.
Just to see where it goes. Like, oh, I want to see how this person, see if they crack under pressure. So what I got from Patrice was, oh, no, well, you got to stay true. I mean, hell, if they're not rolling with it, you don't let it affect you at all. You make it seem like it's nothing to you. So I'm bombing up here. All right, it is what it is. We're going to still roll with everything. And then if I got to adjust and now I'm just talking to the people, I do that too. But I got that from Patrice. And then other comedic influences, I got Bill Burr. There's Bill Burr, Chappelle, of course. I'm got to have Chappelle in there. With Kevin Hart, it's more energy with Kevin Hart. Forget the jokes, but it's more energy with Kevin Hart. And the one thing that I definitely had that I could take away from him is quotables. Because like when you think, all right, he's like, you think about all right. You don't even think about Matthew McConaughey no more.
Or the funny thing is, you don't even think about Kevin's dad. You think about him.
You think about him. You want to go night? Like it's Kevin. It's Kevin Hart. So when you have quotables, that now you could watch his entire special, not remember a single joke, but you'll remember those quotables. So I got that from Kevin Hart as well. So make sure when you're doing your set, you incorporate some quotables in there as well. And then there's Patrice, Bill Burr, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle. Who else would I say?
This is a great list.
Very great list.
I'd love to watch this on Netflix.
George Carlin.
Carlin was
that dude. Honestly, for me, I always had him above Pryor. I really enjoy. Yeah,
excuse me, brother.
Yeah, I had him above Pryor. I know the pro blacks like, what do you mean? You put a Caucasian man above?
Whoa.
That's
yeah,
but I'm him. I'm willing to listen to anything if you give me a reason.
I would listen. I listened to him over Pryor.
Now we're fair on this show. We're fair.
No. I'm fair on this show.
No, we are fair. I'm not fair with you. Okay.
We are this show.
He didn't know who Sanaa Lathan was. I wanted to fight him.
Oh my.
Yes,
You need to understand. I don't know celebrities like that.
Fair enough.
So like him saying celebrity names, like he's mad about all these things. I'm like, I don't know any celebrities. I don't just go to watch them and be like, oh, I know that celebrity. Dude, I walked past Tyson Chandler one day in Manhattan, still didn't recognize him.
You wanna do 7 foot? I would have.
Yeah, but
come on.
But you at the time, I'm 7.
So,
okay,
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
At 16, I walked past J.R. Smith. Now I knew J.R. Smith because he's the tallest person in a candy store.
Yeah, makes sense.
So when you see a dude with a lipstick tattoo in a candy store buying,
Did he
was he
smell
one?
like Henny?
No, because he was buying sugar worms apparently. Whatever
damn.
it's called. And also his entourage was blocking half of his face.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, we're
That's a
fair.
better answer. He probably did.
We're fair on this show. Why do you put George Carlin above Richard Pryor?
I think it's just his range and the amount of different, because with Pryor was joke after joke after joke after joke after joke, which is great. I mean, it's comedy. You're supposed to go there to laugh and everything. But Carlin initially had started like that, and then he added the shift. Where he's like, yo, I'm gonna go more into like social commentary. I'm gonna have more. So with the reason why I take Carlin over Pryor is just the range that he had. And the different sort of topics that he was able to talk about unapologetically at that. Not to say, Pryor was something bum. Pryor ain't no bum. I mean, the way I look at the greatest of all time, when you put between those two, it's like a 1A, 1B sort of situation. And wherever you rank them, I have no issue with it. Like if you say you take Pryor over Carlin, I got no problem. Like I'm not one of those people where they got the indignation invigorating inside of my soul, talking about, yeah, man, what you mean? You talk about this person. You gotta have my list. No.
It hurt, don't it?
No.
It hurt to be.
So with that, yeah, that's probably the primary reason why I got him in front.
Okay.
But it's just a range.
Okay.
I would have to say it's a range.
I can respect that. I can't respect that, Tayshaun. You don't know who certain people are. Some people are just immediately recognizable. Anyway.
You got this is why we don't talk about this, because you got mad at me because I don't watch movies that often. So it's the difference.
No, but low key, I'm actually with him in a sense, because with Sanaa Lathan, like I can recognize by name. But if she walked past me, I wouldn't. Like, it would take time for me to process.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know the name. He's just mad I don't know anything.
Name. Yeah, because there's most time I wouldn't, I have to put the face to the name. Because the one thing is, if I'm, you'd have to tell me the movie and then tell me the character. Because their actual name,
I did that. I did that with 2 movies.
I know, but we're at to the part where I don't watch movies either. See, like
this is my partner.
He's just mad because he's mad I don't know the actress, but he needs to understand that I don't know movies in general from time to time. So it's not like I just got to this point and now he's disappointed. It's like, no, I never even started building the block.
I'd be like,
all right, fine. You can have that.
I still have it. Was never going.
Anyway, let's get back to our guest, sir. When did YouTube become when did YouTube come into play? And I'll let Tayshaun take over from there, because I know he has a lot of questions about the YouTube game and how you started and how it helped you build your career.
No, he does research on personal life. I go back to intern life.
Oh, okay, all right. So YouTube, this is how it started. So I had started stand-up February of 2016. And the very first show that I had did, it was regular open mic, but the very first time that I had gotten on stage, it was in front of about, I'd have to say, between 18 to 25 people.
In New York?
Yeah, in New York. It was in Manhattan. Okay. And then it was just a regular open mic. It was like 5 p.m. or something like that. And I had to build up the courage to do it because I went to maybe like 3 open mics beforehand. I'm like, I could do this. And then once you actually signed up and your name is getting ready to come up, and they did it by raffle. So they said, yeah, coming up after this person, Dave Antoine. I'm like, all right, great, cool. And I'm just sitting there like, wow.
The fact you said it that many times, I already knew you was freaking out.
This about to happen. So, so I did that in front of 15 to between 18 and 25 people. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then randomly, the following month, like a couple of weeks later, I was driving to the gym and it started raining. And people, for some apparent reason, in New York City, the weather affects people behind the wheel, so they can no longer drive effectively.
So they go
when
crazy.
That was the case, I recorded myself ranting about the situation, posted it on Facebook, got 1,000 views that same night within hours. So I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. If I go and I do stand up in front of people, I'm not seeing over 30 at this stage because I've just started. I post videos on the internet. If I can get 1,000 in a night, if I'm consistent, maybe
I can get to 10,000, 100,000. Absolutely.
And then I always looked at it like, and this is one of the reasons why I say methodical when I do my whole intro, because, or I should say meticulous in a sense as well, because I said, all right, it's a 10% of a 10%. If I got 1,000 people who's watching me, I need 100 to say, this guy seems interesting. Of that 100, I need 10 to say, yo, I think I'm gonna follow this guy. And of that 10, I just need 1 to say, I rock with him. So then that's what the whole thing was. So once that popped into my mind, I said, I'm going to do this, not only on Facebook, but I'm going to post on YouTube as well. Because I know YouTube, they incentivize you, at least with payments.
Right.
Facebook, you got to get to, well, before they started introducing, the payments, I think like a couple of years ago for anybody. But I already knew YouTube, there's a threshold. You get to that threshold, you can start getting paid. So I said, all right, you know what? YouTube, I'm going to start posting. And that's where it started.
Because the reason why I kind of like,
brother Jay.
I had a moment just there because
this ain't Cold Stone.
When you broke down that percentage numbers, the video that actually made me follow you was the MTA rant that you did.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I think I had just started working. What was that? Was that 2017?
2017. January 20th.
I started that July, right? And I was sitting at work and I was just scrolling through Facebook because I think you posted it on Facebook before you put it on YouTube. I was scrolling through, and somebody shared it because at that point they hadn't raised the fare yet, but they was talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was a big thing. And somebody was like, see, this brother's on point. You know what I mean? And I sat there and I watched the video. I was dying at work. I was laughing, literally laughing my ass off. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta find this brother's page because I gotta listen to more of what he got to say. Take over.
Right.
I just wanted to put that in there.
As I told you before we got into it, I told you I was actually a fan and I actually am subscribed to your channel. I watched.
I appreciate that.
It's on you. So actually, to start off, I actually wanted to ask because you actually brought up your podcast before the Hold My Nuggets podcast, which I saw a few episodes. I didn't get to do the whole thing because life goes crazy.
Yes.
But actually, what was the start? Who was your partner in that? What made you start that podcast?
Oh, so at the time, Marv Glover, big shout out to him. He was going by Marv Glover at the time because he was doing comedy. Now he's since retired from comedy and he's doing credit repair, which is, business is booming. A crazy move from comedy. To credit repair,
like for real.
Yeah, when he told me,
helping the public's helping the public, man.
Listen, get your coins, bro.
Yeah, and things working out in his favor. He was able to turn 6 figures in 7 months. I'm like, damn, maybe I should look at a credit repair, or mess up my credit. Then, it work, but we the two of us, we were doing comedy at the time together, and we became great friends over the time period, and then we always joked because he's a Cowboys fan, I'm a Steelers fan, so we would always joke back and forth, and he was the epitome of the jokes that I make about Cowboys fans. It's him. So I'm like,
the SpongeBob thing.
We going to the Super Bowl. So that is literally him. Yeah. So then, since that's the case, I'm like, you know what? We should probably like see if we could just do a podcast, just to do it, because we weren't trying to do anything to compete in the market or anything. We just wanted to put out stuff so we can look back and laugh. Like, that's the only reason why we did it. So that's literally how the birth of the podcast started. We just sat around like, yo, we should probably do something. It's like, yeah. All right, let's go to
that's
let's
how
go
most
to
podcast starts.
Yeah, you just look at it. Like,
that's how we started. Just a little bit.
As an honest note, people loved. Whenever he would just call me on the walkie-talkie, because when you're in Target, you have walkie-talkie. He would call for me on the walkie-talkie, and literally when everyone's around and be like, they'd be like, "Yo, Tay, where you at?" And I literally would go like, "None your business."
So yeah, like the interactions between me and him would just make other people laugh, and it was just like, okay, we can actually turn this into something. You know what I mean? So,
also, another note, because I know you have a lot of fights with your stuff you put on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
with your highlight commentary for the NFL. I know, as you know, you got the love for the sport of football as we've gone through. Have you ever actually thought about doing highlights for other sports, or would this just take too much time?
No, I can do it because I've done for the NBA.
I saw some of the final ones.
Yeah, I've done because the NBA is tough because you're getting a lot of the same things. It's like, how many times can I go down to somebody's running down the floor and somebody hits a three? Like, you try to make that exciting and make it funny. It's only so much you can do. With football, there's so many different things. But I think I've been able to develop kind of a method where I'll just talk about things outside of what's actually going on. So, but I've really gone into this year, went into fighting, boxing, UFC, mixed martial arts, things of that nature. So that has really been able to take off on the channel, because I entered this year with 200,000. And now I'm at like 273. No, 373.
Nice.
So I've been able to like really, boost it, but primarily because of, boxing and MMA. So I've been venturing into a bunch of different sports and just commentary on regular, ordeals. But with YouTube, I kind of got to cut back on certain things because they will give you a strike.
I want you to know this has nothing to do with the questions I sent him.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite fighter to watch when you do this?
Oh, my favorite fighter to watch.
Yeah, boxing, MMA, just anything.
Wow. Honestly, not because of the viewership that I got off of this brother, but Michael Venom Page, this guy here, like I made, it was just random. I remember because he was the dude who threw the Pokeball at the dude he knocked out, right? A couple years ago. And it was in my mind. And I was sitting there like, yo, wait a minute. I remember this, but what was his name? I don't think I've ever done commentary on. So I was getting ready to record a commentary on that fight. And then I saw on YouTube, they had a compilation of his knockouts. So I said, why do one video
when I could do all
I can do all of them? So initially I was just gonna put go one by one with each fight, but then some ended fast and I didn't want to like stretch out one knockout for 4 minutes. So I said, you know what? I'll compile everything up until this point. Because I think at the time I was doing like a series on Mike Tyson. Yeah. So since that was the case, I said, all right, I'll do one video of every knockout that Venom Page has. And then I had remembered he got knocked out by Douglas Lima. It was the one loss that he actually ever had in his life. Kickboxing, boxing, MMA. So I said, I can chronicle this dude's whole life in one video. I put it in a video, 6.1 million views on YouTube. Right now, I think it's my highest viewed video I ever had. Or
he is straight disrespectful.
Actually,
yeah.
So I actually did some research. I'm a research kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I actually looked into your most viewed videos.
Yeah.
I think the knockout video, I think, is number 3. Your most viewed video is my 3,000 pound.
Oh, the Fat Family. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Good video. Good video.
Walter.
Yeah. That was
had my name in there.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Fun fact about that video. I recorded it in the length of it was 3 minutes on the original one, but I recorded it in 5 minutes because I spoke straight through for about I'd have to say about 90 some seconds. Stopped to take a breath and get some water. I still kept it all recording. Went back, sat down, and then finished the recording because it all happened off of a whim. I'm sitting there, I'm on Facebook, and I'm having a conversation with my brother, who also is morbidly obese. And out of nowhere, I just see this compilation. Oh, well, not compilation. I just see this video of these extremely large individuals. And this one guy where his stomach is, it's like a hoppity hop inside of his pants. So I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here. Human Snorlax. So I said, all right, I think I got to do something about this. Yeah. So I grabbed my brother's mic, and then I said, all right.
I really killed you. Goddamn.
Let's go and record something. And then lo and behold, I post it. I go to sleep. I wake up. It's at 2 million views on Facebook. I said, all right. And then for some apparent reason on Facebook, my name was in it. Instagram, my name was in it. And I put a clip on Twitter. My name was in it, but YouTube, for whatever reason, I guess I put the raw file before I put my @name in it on YouTube. On YouTube, it didn't even blow up initially, but I guess somebody must have downloaded it from there, and wherever else they shared it must have immediately gone viral on the other end. Because at that point, that's where when you see it circulating, you're crying, right? But it's everywhere that it's circulating.
It really killed him.
Yeah, but everywhere that it's circulating, it's like, yo, who's speaking? I'm like, yo, it's me. No, it's Chico B. So I'm sitting there like, so it became a point where it's like, yo, this joint across the internet, everywhere, like from my calculations from when I stopped, was a total of 100 million views.
Oh, wow.
And that was in I'd say, November of 2019. Of everywhere where I calculated all the different, millions of views everywhere else. Yeah. On my platform alone, I think on my old Facebook page before they took it down, it was at 7 million. My YouTube, they actually took down the roast off of my YouTube 3 weeks ago, and I don't want to dispute it because I don't want to have a situation where they put another strike on the channel. Right. So I'm like, I just got to take the L. It is what it is. But yeah, it's by far my most viral video, and a lot of people they have no clue it's me who did it. Until you'll hear another video that goes viral, like, yo, this guy sound familiar. I could have swore I heard him from somewhere.
Then you'll go back like,
oh,
there we go.
Yeah, but yeah.
Speaking of strikes, I know you got a history with these copyrights.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk? Want to give us more detail about it?
Well, in total,
Oh, actually, speaking like, and I know because of this, you also put some of the content on Pornhub as well.
yes, that's actually what the catalyst for me making a Pornhub account was.
I remember that part.
Yeah, because I figured, hey man, I watched Avengers Infinity War on Pornhub.
Yes, I was.
So yes,
Why? Whoa, excuse me, brother. They put it on Pornhub?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, HD quality.
I didn't watch it on there, but yes, they put a lot of movies on Pornhub.
Yeah. I was for a piece of me thought, man, I wonder if they have it in 3D. But then I figured that's a bad idea because
Especially on the website.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you got it on autoplay, all of a sudden the next video come on, and now
you in trouble. Now you in trouble.
Yeah, video come on, now you getting came on.
Now
It's
you
not
really
what you were prepared for.
I don't.
I was not ready for that line.
I don't frequent Pornhub, so
Neither do I, unless I'm uploading. I really don't. Like me and porn, I've grown out of that phase. Like once I've gotten older, it's like straight. I'm all right.
Listen, speak for yourself, all right?
I am speaking for myself.
Oh, you just
That's why I say you lying. No, not like that. I feel the power. No.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So yeah, back to the strikes.
But yeah, with the strikes, my Facebook, well, across all of social media, I'm a targeted man. They got a contract for me. Like honestly, I think if this was like the 1980s and I was in some sort of, I'd have been dead already. Like
it was run by the mafia or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Somebody got a gun. They got a potato on top of a muzzle. It's over for me.
Take care.
So, oh yeah. It's one of those. Somebody dap you up that you never met before. Like, hey, man, take care. What you mean?
Take care. Hold on.
In the afterlife. Now you sit in front row at Michael Jackson and Prince. It's crazy.
Kobe Bryant next to you giving you popcorn.
Oh, exactly, son. You're like, how did I get here? This man showing you he's showing you the turnaround fade. It's crazy. But with Facebook initially, that's where it had started. Because I had a little bit of a battle with Facebook in the summer of 2017 because this was in the midst of the NBA Finals. So this is where because I run the commentary series like you said for the highlight series, but the birth of it was actually the NBA Finals in 2017 because I had done isolated videos, but I never did a episodic kind of
series like that.
Yeah. So then I said, yo, I was sitting there like, man, nobody does commentary on the NBA. On highlights like that on a frequent basis anymore. Because Chris Berman, he used to do it on NFL Primetime. I said, yo, I should. So I started after week game one. It was game one was like 20,000 views. Game two got 42,000. So I said, oh, I got some here. And the day before game three was set to come on, I did a commentary on a bunch of crackheads doing craziness. Like one guy he's able to light his nail on fire because he was like rubbing it on a helmet. Another dude was on fire himself and just wiggled and the fire ended. Didn't make any sense. Another dude backflipped off of a roof, landed on his 2 feet. Another guy fell off of, Lord knows where he fell from, on top of a car. Just destroyed the hood of the car, got off the car, walked off like it was nothing. So I just did, okay, crackheads are they're Supermen, right? And that
Making
video,
that Dave Chappelle skit come true every day.
Oh yeah, and it got 2 million views in 3 days, and then I'm like, oh man, I got something here. And then in the midst of recording my game three, it got they
probably
blocked me for 30 days on Facebook and took down the crackhead video. I'm like, wait, and then I couldn't post my NBA commentary number, so it halted my momentum. So I'm like, yo, wait a minute here, hold on here. And what was wild was on Facebook during this the whole during this time and my momentum that was building. There was porn that was on Facebook that you can see. There was beheadings that was on Facebook that you can see.
You're right.
Like straight up murder. And these videos had tens of thousands, tens of millions of views. And I'm sitting there like, wait, you took mine down
this is right
on
here.
a commentary, but this is murder and you fine with this. So I'm like, okay, I got an issue. So that's where the birth of all of the strikes started. And then ultimately the year after, I had amassed 122,000 on Facebook. They took my entire page. YouTube, from 20, when I had first gotten to 100,000, because I don't think I had a single, no, it was before this. When my first video I ever got taken down was, at least a strike on the channel, was on my Super Bowl 52 commentary, and that's where the birth of the whole Nancy jokes had came from.
Nancy.
Oh yeah, and that one, they had taken it down, and that was pretty much from that point moving forward. I think over the course of my entire YouTube's channel's life, I've had a total of like 27 strikes, and probably the amount of weeks of suspension would probably amass up to about like 11 months.
Wow.
Yeah, like 11 months.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And
He not joking. He really targeted.
Yeah.
yo, and
yeah.
but the crazy thing is YouTube has, or they've never said, have they ever hit you with the one more time and you're like done for good?
All the time.
Oh, seriously?
Last year around the summer, I believe, I was at a spot where it's like, yo, I think this is the end, because I had apparently they changed their algorithm to where now warnings don't leave your channel for life. So I had gotten 2 warnings back to back days in March of last year. So I'm sitting there like, wait, they put a warning on my channel talking about child safety and all this other stuff on a regular video about me talking about Facebook blocking me. I never mentioned a child in the video, nothing. And regardless of the fact that I appealed and everything, they still came back and rejected it. So now I have a warning on the channel to where I'll never again receive, hey, just giving you a heads up, we took down your video, but we're not going to give you a strike. No, now it's we noticed something in your video, we putting a strike on your channel, you suspended for at least a week, right? So when that started, I said, all right, I got a warning. And then for a 3-month span, I had a community guideline strike, followed by a copyright strike, followed by a community guideline strike, followed by a copyright strike. And it got to a point where when you have 3 community guideline strike, your channel's supposed to get terminated.
Yeah.
When you got 3 copyright strike, your channel's supposed to get terminated. I had 2 warnings, 2 community guideline strikes, 2 copyright strike at the same time.
Ooh.
So now I'm in a spot where
You on that type.
it's not even thin ice at this point.
Nah,
like
it's
the
a
ice is melting.
It's
Like it's
cracking
melting.
in.
I'm damn near, my toe is in the water at this point. So I'm sitting there like, wow, I don't know what I got to do. So I was at the point where it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. And I've told my followers, I've told my supporters this time and time again, I'm not going to make a backup channel. If they take the social media from me, that's the end of it. You got to catch me on stand up. So that's just the way that I see it, because it's counterintuitive at that point to try to rebuild
everything.
It's not because
Start from scratch.
working from scratch to get to this point. Because I know you guys seen from that. I've been able to partner with some brands.
Yeah.
I've been able to get some sponsorships and things of that nature. They take my channel and now I have to rebuild that.
Yeah.
The same videos where I was making 100,000 views, 200,000 views, and that was my leverage that I had to try to see if I can get sponsors. I don't have that anymore. So that possible cash flow that I may have had, that's gone.
Getting terminated.
That's terminated. And most people, let's be honest, majority of people are lazy here. So we're like, yo, this person ain't posting no more. All right, I'll go find somebody else who got something going on. Because they're not going to really go and seek you out to find you. Vast majority of people who follow you, they just follow you.
Yeah,
so,
they just follow because they seen the videos like,
exactly.
This is where the channel goes.
Exactly. So since that's the case, I'm like, yeah, I can't. I'm not in a position where I could go and start over and stuff.
And you said this was last year, right?
Yeah.
And you know what will be crazy? It's crazy about that because YouTube was one of the things that kept people sane last year with
Absolutely.
Just watching stuff online because we can't go outside no more. And here they have someone who's making money for them essentially. You know what I mean? Like doing the thing, putting out content left and right, and you're basically jeopardizing that over what sounds like misunderstandings.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or
I
just
can't
being
imagine.
straight petty. You know what I mean?
I can't imagine what like copyright strike. I can see nonsense they were going with, but like community guidelines, I'm like, what happened here? Especially the child one. I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Because the problem that I have with copyright is I completely understand as long as you do the same thing with everybody. Because it's one thing if you just claim the rights to a video, you get all of the monetization. I completely get that. Because like, for example, with my NFL commentaries, I've never received a dime for those.
Yeah.
Not one, right? And over the course of the past, now 5 years, the 5 seasons that I've been doing it, it's garnered over 40 million views total. That's why the internet says he is making a $1.7 million. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. The money that would have been generated from all of that viewership is probably, the 6 figures crazy, like $700,000.
Probably still with the NFL.
Yeah, probably. Like, and all of that money's going towards them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting all of these views for you. I'm doing all of this other stuff for you. But then you'll say, we're gonna take your video down for copyright. But this other channel that's just as big as you, if not bigger than you, that doesn't have a partnership with us, we'll just let them ride out. Like that never made sense to me. Like one of the copyright strikes that I got was Rajon Rondo fought against when he was
Chris, wasn't it Chris Paul, right?
Yeah, it was Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, I
right?
remember
And that video I had made it got like 20,000 views on Instagram, but on YouTube it was approaching like 25,000 after I had posted it, and they took it down for copyright. And I said, wait a minute, how you gonna take this down for copyright and say, yo, I'm using the NBA's licensed footage and everything? But when you search the fight, there's
all over the place.
86, and I had counted at the time, 86 different YouTube channels that either reposted the fight, about 17 did their own review or commentary, and then 33 had the video watching and they just reacted to the fight. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, how you gonna single me out? Not only take the video down, but then put a strike on the channel, suspend me from uploading for a week. And talk, you can't use this, but other people can. What is the avenue? How are you?
What's the logic?
The idea of the reaction itself was kind of wild. Because, like, to be honest, they're just people, like, there's some channels where they just is them and like another side.
Yep.
And then the other side is the whole video itself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're not getting copyright strikes or anything on this. But if you do like just commentary on it, they're like, it's copyright.
Because they're saying like you got to put the video a bit smaller somewhere and then edit it to where it's in a smaller corner. But I'm sitting there like, yo, I understand, getting the loopholes that exist there.
Yeah.
But theoretically speaking, if you have somebody who's going through all of the video, or like an AI that's supposed to detect it, your system is incredibly flawed at that point. And then when you send me,
it's incredibly flawed if the only thing that stops it is shrinking it from 811 to 710.
Exactly. And then with the reaction channel, no disrespect to reaction channels, but the vast majority that I've seen, a lot of people don't got no personality. Like they'll just sit there, they'll just watch the stuff, they'll laugh. It's not even a funny kind of laugh. They bring nothing to the actual video to where you can actually, if you just wanted to watch the video, you could just watch it by itself. Yeah. But these people are making like a living off of just sitting there staring at something that you could have already watched without them. Like get your money how you live. I'm not gonna hate on you. Do what you got to do. Yeah. But we live in a time now where you don't really got to do too much on the internet in order to get over.
That's right.
But then in my case, where I may be using the footage, but it's fair use in a sense because there's no audio from you. No. It's all I'm providing my own original audio. Yeah. The entire premise of what's happening on the video is changed because it's gone from what was happening with sports. It's now become entertainment and commentary and comedy and things like that. So every aspect of what's happening has been altered in a sense. The only thing that's being used is the footage. Now, if it's a matter of you just don't want us to use your footage, all right, cool. But then play that same card with everybody. That's my problem that I have with social media. It's just that don't do this with me,
And those people not only use the footage, but they use the audio, the original audio, and everything along with it. That's got to be hella frustrating.
Oh, incredibly frustrating. Incredibly frustrating. Because I'll mute the entire video and I'll put in minutes to hours, whether it's work for this, whether it's finding the video, cutting the video up, recording, then going along the lines of posting it, writing in the tags, everything, then sharing my own, because I'm my promoter,
the idea
my
of your, because the whole NFL content, it's not like you just take one game and then put it together. You're taking clips and merging it. Yeah. It's jumping from back and forth all the time.
And the Sunday commentary, like literally, it's my entire day. Yeah. Like when I start from kickoff at 1 p.m. up until the final snap of the last game, I'm recording the entire afternoon of every single game. And the one thing, there's quotables that are in there, but I'm saying different stuff every single game, like every single game. A lot of times it goes over people's head and mind you, it's not like because in 2017 I was doing like 4 or 5 minute videos. It's probably like 8 minutes at the max. Now I'm giving you like 20 minutes at the least, 20 minutes to 30 sometimes. Like the Super Bowl 55 was 52 minutes. I'm giving you a comedy special. I'm not getting a dime. I'm doing this for free.
Just because you love it.
Just because I love this joint. And what sucks is on the other end, it's like, yeah, that's great. We appreciate you bringing us views. All right, we received our revenue from it. Yeah, we're gonna take down the video now.
It's like renting.
Yeah,
it's like they gave you an apartment. Like, oh, I see you did everything. You paid your rent all the time. Here's an eviction notice.
Yep. Yep.
For no reason.
Yeah. And they cut the lights while you're there and still expect you to pay the rent.
Damn, that's gotta be hella frustrating.
Yeah, and then it's not even just on YouTube. It's on
Probably
on
Facebook,
yeah,
Instagram.
Facebook now. I'm actually currently blocked right now on Facebook, and they blocked me for a Manscaped ad because they said I was promoting nudity. I'm like, how was I promoting nudity? I didn't even. The entire ad was the video from Manscaped where they were showing the bag and the different products. There wasn't a single showcase of somebody's testicles.
Now,
And they said, yeah, you know,
How can
you
get
promote
blocked for
nudity.
something you get paid? That's a paid
Exactly.
promotion from
It's a
them.
paid promotion from them. And
From
what's
them.
crazy was there was a sponsored ad from Manscaped.
I bet.
After
On the
I got
ad.
blocked, I'm like, wait,
yeah, so
hold on here.
Facebook's like their whoever's running their content let's just call it what it is, censoring department.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They need to be fired because they, like you said, like you mentioned earlier, they allow some of the absolute craziest things to be passed through the you know, through
the line. Through timelines. Through anything. If you go
But
search anything, it shows
Look,
up.
I got banned from Facebook for calling Carolyn Bryant a lying whore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all, we all know who Carolyn Bryant is, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Emmett Till, Carolyn Bryant.
Yes.
yes.
She came out and said that she lied.
Yeah, she lied.
Yes.
And I
remember that.
said, and I was in a comment board, and someone got the name confused. I was like, no, you're talking about Carolyn Bryant. She's the lying whore that said. I got banned for like, I think it was like 3 days, and I'm like, wait, hold on. So when I appealed the decision, like it went all the way to the top. I forgot the name of the board that actually reviews these things, but it was like an official like challenge, like almost like the Supreme Court of
Facebook?
Yeah.
Like,
Facebook has a Supreme Court?
no, it's like
This is getting
this
wild.
is like it's
I'm
like
shocked
the,
you made it that far. I wouldn't even make it past the entry level. They're like, nah, we
brother,
not with
I
it.
appeal because I'm like, nah, I'm not. No, it's the at that point it's
It
the
was the
principle.
principle?
Yeah, it's a principle.
It was the
It's a
principle for me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I was like, y'all let this stuff, y'all let Donald Trump say all these things on Facebook, lying to people and invoking all these other
You
crazy
got it.
things. Yeah, I
You
went.
go
Yeah,
there.
oh, I went
Nah,
there,
even
brother.
go after everything.
I
Like,
went
you
there.
let AON get through this? You let anyone get anything?
Come on,
I
y'all
call
letting
one person a
QAnon
whore?
talk shit on Facebook. Like, nah, I was like, nah. But
I call one person a lying whore, and I got to go through court. This
Yeah,
time, right?
yeah.
come on, yo. So
yeah.
Facebook's algorithms and whatever it is, they need to revamp it, and that's why Mark Zuckerberg just lost $7 billion.
Yo, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's just desserts.
Yeah,
No,
and
not
then
enough,
even on
but-
Instagram as well, because Facebook owns Instagram, so Instagram is
Yep.
the same thing. Because I'm currently shadow banned on Instagram. I
Oh,
have
you're
been
shadow
yeah, I've been
banned.
for like 2
Damn.
years. Like it's crazy. I can't. When you search me on IG, you type in Chiseled Adonis, the first thing that pops up is actually somebody who had made a fan page like 4 years ago. For whatever reason, I can't get this page deleted. Like they don't even upload on there. Like it's just random. I'm like, dude, I don't want another page to pop up when you searching me. Like I appreciate, the love and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you ain't uploading on there, what's the purpose of you having it on there? You got 3 posts of a website that's defunct now. Like you might as well just get rid of that joint. But it still pops up, right?
Mhm.
And I'm shadow banned on IG, and constantly, like they took my TikTok. I had 65,000 on there. They took my whole TikTok. Like
Oh,
it
that's right,
says
they
on
did.
on my end, it says, hey, your account has been restored. But then at the bottom, rather than giving me an opportunity to X out, that notice, it just says log out. But if you search me on TikTok, it pops up and say, yeah, this account has been suspended. So why is it that you would say on my end, yeah, your account been restored, but then you put a notice to log out, but then on the other person, it's like, nah, you've been blocked. So you can't just be honest with me. And then so I just had to make a new TikTok, IG, and I post the same thing every time they take a post down. It's the South Park, and it's gone. I post it every single time when something gets taken down. And there was a 3-week span. I posted 13 times that they had taken a video down or whatever. And what bothers me about it is, shout out to Snoop, but Snoop Dogg has now become like he's become the new age world star hip hop on IG.
Oh, yeah.
Because he'll post fights, he'll post
I'll
everything.
post anything.
I had taken a fight from Snoop Dogg's page. This fight had 8 million views on his page. I took it, did a commentary on it, same length, posted it. They said, yeah, we got to take this down. It's promoting violence. What? But then on Snoop Dogg page, it got 8 million views constant. You go down his entire page, everything that they ever said, I violated community guidelines, his entire page is that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, man, maybe if I got the verification badge, I would be able to talk. But nah, I don't think that's the case. I'm just a marked man. I'm just a marked man. So since that's the case, I'm like, I got to roll out with everything, you know?
Maybe Snoop can just put your stuff on his page. It wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, perhaps. Maybe. I mean, there's a couple of people that he has posted in the past, and all of a sudden they
explode.
They blew up or whatever. But I've come to the terms where, and I think this is where I can relate a bit more to Patrice, where it's one of those if you know kind of situations. So, because I don't need all the attention. Like, I never really been one who said, man, I want to have this number of followers. And not for me, it never mattered. If I had 10 people who were watching my stuff, I treat you the same way I do with 100,000 people watching me, because it's more about that rapport, that relationship that you build with the people who are watching your stuff. I don't care about views. I don't care about subscribers. Don't care about followers. Don't care about none of that stuff. For me, it's a relationship that you cultivate with the people who are watching your stuff. So as long as I still have the platform to do so, then I'm good. Yeah. But if they keep, trying to block me everywhere, then
you can do.
It's funny that you say that, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not expect this to happen. I did not expect you to respond to me about the request. But it's funny because you've actually responded to me before. I know you don't remember, but there were. Huh?
Nothing.
Of course not. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about?
Taking shots
every time, every chance he gets. The first time I ever reached out to you was, I think it was one of the very first times that WWE came to Barclays Center. Because I know you're a big WWE fan.
I was actually gonna bring that up. So like, if we ever end it, y'all can just end it on WWE and be happy.
Anyway,
look, I give you things.
Fair, that's true. You it's more shots than anything else. But anyway,
look, the good comes with the evil, bro.
It does. Got to balance. I knew you were at the show because I used to be on Instagram. I can't stand Instagram, but nonetheless, I knew you were there because I saw your post on Instagram.
Yeah, and
I was like, oh, yo, I'm here too. I'm a fan of yours. Want to meet up after the show for a photo op or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think because the reception in the Barclays was just terrible that night, we never got a chance to meet up. The second time, I was watching one of your old videos. Yeah. And I asked you, what song did you have in the background? And you actually made an entire video of how you had to go through an old busted laptop to look up in the old video, tried to find whatever song it was, and it actually got back to me. I think it was a Sadat X song.
I want to say, do you remember the song? Because I'd be mad for him if you don't remember the song.
It was The Questions by Sadat X.
Wow, that is old.
Yeah,
that is old.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
I was like, well, wait, he actually got back to me because not for nothing, but celebrities, they don't really listen to common people like us. So the fact that you actually who have a following.
Oh, for a second, I thought you were calling me a celebrity.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, you up. Congratulations, my brother.
Yeah, I do consider you a celebrity. Like you have a following, bro. Like you have, like you said, how many million? You have 94 million views on YouTube, bro.
Yeah,
that's a lot of views. A lot of people who actually come to listen to what you have to say. In your videos and your comments, people are like, they're engaging with you, and you engage back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's your streams, especially the last one, the Running Back University versus the Groot and Grinders.
Oh yeah.
That's the last one that showed up on my thing, and like, nice, especially with Hot Mic. So I was going to get into.
We can get to that in a second. But the fact that you actually, engage with your fans and your followers, it speaks volumes, bro. Like I said, I did not expect to pull this off, but the fact that we did, it's a big deal for both of us, because this is something that we really like. We really thank you for it, bro.
Oh, I appreciate that. Because for me, it's like I said earlier, it's about cultivating that relationship with the people. Because at the end of the day, I've never really been like, with other people, you'd be nowhere. But in life, it's about building relationships, building partnerships, building friendships. And if somebody takes time out of their day to watch your video, you could take time out of your day to, reply to a comment or reply back to a DM. Like from 2016 until I'd say November of 2020, I replied to every single DM that I ever received in my life. Every single one. There were times in which, somebody would just reply to a story, I'd leave a like or whatever, but I would open every single message, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, no matter where it's at. I got to every single message. And I added everybody. Like my Facebook, if somebody sends me a friend request, I add everybody. And I mean, if people send me messages now, it's kind of tough to get to because I constantly keep getting blocked, so I can't reply over there. But on Instagram, I could always reply back to stories. But it wasn't until I went to Puerto Rico last November, where for 6 days I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna touch social media. Like I'll have scheduled posts, but I'm not gonna touch social media. And then the DMs it ended up going over 800 because since I kept responses with everybody, people would always hit me back. And talk about it. So now it's like overwhelming. So it's like, damn, I can't get to every DM no more. And a piece of me feels guilty. But then I have to understand, like, yo, you can't, like, you still got stuff you got to take care of and everything. So when I can get to it, I get to it. But at least now, but at the time before, I'm replying to everything. Like the amount of people that ask me to come on their podcast is crazy. And it's like upwards of like 50 to 100, like per month. People are like, yo, I got this podcast going. I got this, I got that. I'm like, all right, I'll check what my availability is looking like. And if we can do it, then
we'll make it happen.
But the one thing that I'm not going to do is give somebody like the cold shoulder and be like, yeah, you send me an email. I'm not even going to look at it. I don't know why you sent me that email. Like, I don't do that.
Who are you?
Yeah, so exactly. So what I always do is, because I remember there was one time where one of my friends actually had told me like, yo, you got to stop, going on all these different shows. I'm like, yo, it's nothing to me. Like give an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. I got the time, and I love speaking to people. Like as much as I dislike humans and stuff of that nature, I'd still love humans.
I understand.
Yeah, I would still, and I'm not even an animal lover either. I just dislike humans. No. So I just so for me it was like, yo, I'll speak to whoever, and we could talk about no matter what it may be. You don't need to really prep me on what it is that we're speaking about. It doesn't matter what it is. I know a little bit about a lot of things, so we can make it happen. So for me, cultivating that relationship, responding to as many people as I can. And if somebody's in my vicinity, we can link up. Whatever. You want to go out for drinks? I got time. All right, let's do it.
We're getting dinner tonight.
No big deal.
Mostly because I'm starving.
Okay, that's fair.
We got to walk over to that ramen place. I want to see if they open.
Well, which one? The one over down the...
Yeah.
Okay.
By Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if it's closed forever, I want to pay my respects.
Yeah, we
do that.
Yeah.
No more sweet tea for you, bro.
It'd be like that sometimes.
We'll see.
Now let's just go to some random questions that I have, right? So
for me or for him?
I ain't worried about you, man. Who are some of your other favorite YouTubers? Because you're definitely in my top 3 alongside
look at that.
Hot Damn I Rock and Long Beach Griffey.
Yeah, Long Beach Griffey's dope.
He's hilarious.
He is hilarious. And what I love about him is he's 110% authentically himself. And he refuses to let you cannot cancel him. And if you want to attempt, he's going down on his sword.
Right.
Like he's never going to compromise who he is. Who else did you say? You said Hot Damn I Rock. My God, that dude here. When I had King Carter, man, that dude, when everybody, like in the golden age of YouTube, if you will, back 10 years ago and everything. Although he had his, controversy with Patrice and everything years back. But the one thing that I appreciated about him and a lot of those other black creators at the time, you could see the creativity that they had and how they delivered their stuff and the adversities that he's been able to face, whether it's the passing of his best friend, him dealing with all of the mental and physical and everything. And he's still, he's still alive. He's still doing his stuff. For that brother, I really hope that he has like some friends around him that's like there for him. Because with his whole maturation and where he got is one thing that it taught me about people, because when he did because the Lift Gang and everything was like 2015. He returned back in 2016, and I think I wasn't even a year into creation and everything. And when he was talking about the situation and watching the progression from his first video back to about like the 6th or 7th video afterwards, where people in the comment section, there were those like, yo, we here with you, yo, we rocking with you, you our guy, we gonna be patient, we hope you okay. And there's other people like, yo, talk about bitches. Yo, why don't you, why you ain't talking about these hoes no more? Yo, what's going on? Yo, we want brotherly love. Yo, we want naughty or nice. So I'm like, oh wait, this is where I had the mentality, because I already had it, but then this was one of the guys where I'm like, yo, I figured, because he had won the King of the Internet, all that stuff.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
All of that stuff, but you could see there's a lot of people who they don't subscribe to you, they subscribe to your content. Right. So a lot of people, they only come around to see what it is that you produce. They don't care about you at all. So with that being the reality of the situation, I said, I know the way I should approach this. So every time somebody will tell me about the numbers that I have or the viewers that I'm like, don't matter. Because for me, of the 373,000, 374,000 subscribers that I have, I probably got about, I'd say like 100 to 150 people who really rock with me. And then even a lower percentage of that, probably like 50 who are like, yo, we
here for you.
we here for you.
No matter
Like
what
that,
you gonna do, we got you.
you my guy.
Yeah.
You know? So it's and I try to break the fourth wall because a lot of time people can put up a front on social media. Like that it's the genjutsu on social media, the illusion is crazy.
Yes.
Like is that you could just put on a whole facade and be somebody completely different. I try to peel off the skin of who I am at all times. So I try to make sure I'm as transparent as possible. But for me, YouTubers that would have to be, or content creators at the top of the list.
Right,
Definitely
yes.
Hot Damn I Rock for sure. He's there. My guy Tommy Sotomayor, that's my guy. He's there as well. If I had to say one more person that I watch frequently, Wrestling Bios.
Okay,
Yeah, that dude in the UK. If I ever go overseas, I gotta go over there. So I'd say that's my top 3.
What about Daquan Wiltshire?
Oh man, yeah. I was actually watching this video the other day.
I saw that comment that you made.
Yeah.
He was a wild boy.
He's because I seen a lot of his videos sporadically, but I never really sat there and subscribed. But I saw he had popped into my EDP live stream that I was doing after the whole fallout.
Because he did one too.
Man, he did one too. I'm like, oh wait, he's in there. I recognize that name. So I started watching his videos. I'm like, oh, this dude's hilarious. So yeah, he's up there as well. I'd put him in my top 5 because I think he goes to DreamCon and RDC
Yes.
World. Yeah, those guys.
RDC
And
thing.
and they go to DreamCon and everything. So I think next year I'm gonna pull up to DreamCon. The tickets are sold out right now. And I think they gotta wait to do it again. But I set my reminders and everything. I gotta pull up, and I know they all gonna be there. All I gotta do is just be in the venue, and it's a wrap. Because I know my personality can take me.
Absolutely.
So somebody just gotta recognize, yo, that's a Chisel to Donna. And then it's a wrap from that particular point. I'll take it from there.
I think someone will hear your voice and be like, I know that voice.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah, because I'll be over there just geeking out over anime and stuff.
I love I love all the black content creators because you honestly feel like when you look at some like ones, like even ones that are like you don't consider, like from RDC World, Deshaun Wilfire, or as he's known on Instagram, Take My V Card.
Yeah.
Like you can honestly see when you watch the sub, you can see some of them try to they're doing skits, so you can see some of the acting, but it's still in the acting. You'd be like, that's how he really talks.
Yeah,
that's
being
him.
themselves.
Even his last video, when he was like, not everything's gay, and he's like, that's.
That's really him.
That's just sporadic.
Because somebody had sent me a message about that video because I had the post notifications on. So I think I commented within 5 minutes of the video. Right. No, I was watching it and writing the comment as the video was progressing, and I had posted like 15 minutes after I had finished watching it. But the one thing that I find funny about him is we share, similar mannerisms in the way that we deliver, lines, or the way that things develop in our mind. Right. So I'm like, dude, I feel like if we were to hang out, we'd have a hell of a goddamn time. So yeah, that dude. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I do all the time.
We'd say something ridiculously inappropriate.
Great.
I would not apologize for it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Nor should you.
Why should you?
So to wrap this up, brother. Because we're running out of time.
Which brother? What?
This brother.
No.
Not you. All right.
What I do?
This brother.
Excuse me, bro.
Thank you.
You excuse.
Let the brother go.
To wrap this up, brother. First of all, we appreciate you for coming. You know what I mean? We really appreciate the plug, the charge up that you might give us, the notoriety that might come of this. We appreciate all of it.
We appreciate you just showing up.
And we just appreciate you showing up, period. Because like I said, you did not have to do this, and I did not really expect this. But that's just goes to believing in yourself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything that you want to say to people who are like aspiring content creators or aspiring to just do anything, whatever they decide to do with themselves? What do you have to say to these people?
I would say you have to apply the 3 C's. This is what I live my life by.
Okay.
You have to commit to the commitment of consistency. And those are the 3 things that you got to be able to apply to your life. Pretty much what it is that when you start something and you say, this is what I want to do, you've got to stay 100% to the course. And it's going to take some time. There's going to be a lot of sacrifice. There's going to be times where you feel like, man, think you want to quit. You don't think this is going to work for you. You just have to stick the course. Because in life, there's a ton of, adversity, peaks and valleys that hits everybody. But it's how you bounce back from those that creates the character that you're going to need to become, the person that you ultimately want to be. So at the end of the day, if you have dreams and aspirations of whether it's, YouTube, whether it's entrepreneurship, no matter what it is, you've got to commit to the commitment of consistency and then ultimately believe in yourself. Because most people, they'll look at you like, yeah, you crazy. Everybody doing that now. So as far as I'm concerned, anybody can win. Most people who are successful, they just outlasted somebody. Most people quit. Just don't quit. You just keep, hell, like we spoke about earlier, I've been blocked on 27 some strikes, but in total amount of videos has been removed, 113 amount of videos has been removed.
You still taking
113 videos has just been removed. And that's YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and company. My old Facebook page, like 400 videos gone, like that. Don't even know where they are. They're just somewhere in inner space somewhere, right? Just gone.
Yep.
And I could have quit countless times. I mean, I've had times where I was doing stand-up in front of like 10 some people. I was going on just random, places. I was in a bar doing a spot somewhere and people, shut up. I had enough. Get off the stage. I'm like, all right, well, I mean, I just got on. So I'm here. We doing what we got to do. I've had times where people will walk out.
I get paid for this.
Yeah. Oh, but there's sometimes where you go somewhere they don't even pay you.
Yeah.
Like you just go somewhere and then, because there's the payment in comedy is like brutal. Like if you don't got no name about yourself, it's gonna be tough. Like you could have an internet presence, but if these promoters don't know who you are, the bookers don't know who you are,
ain't gonna get you nothing.
They don't give a damn about you or whatever. Oh, you got all these followers, great. Where the people at?
That's gonna be that main concern.
Yeah, exactly. So since that's the case, you just gotta stick the course. That's ultimately what it is. You just gotta not quit, have that belief in yourself, and screw everybody else. There's gonna be times in which your greatest adversary can be inside your own home. You can wake up in the morning and your parents, whether it's your dad, whether it's your mom, your brother, sister, grandmother, nephew, niece, doesn't matter what it is. There's going to be a lot of people who don't believe in you. Your best friends will probably turn their back on like, hey, man, I think you should probably look into something else. Hey, sis, I think you should probably look into something else. I don't think it's working. You got to say, nah, I got it. I got it. I'm gonna stick to this. Because even if you got to do something else on the side, never forget that ultimately this is what you want to do.
A friend told me that because I have a friend. I wish I told his name is Jermaine Gava. He's making music. He told when I ran into him going home one day. He's like, "Oh, what's your career?" And I was like, "Oh, I told him I do this job." He's like, "No, that's your job. What's your career?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Like this is what I'm doing." And I was like, "That's when I told him I was like I was helping my friend doing Twitch streams." He's like, "See, that's a career. Your job just pays that."
Absolutely. Constantly funnel what you gain from your job, your 9 to 5, push that into ultimately the goal that you want to be. Because at the end of the day, you could talk about money, you could talk about all this other stuff, but happiness is what's on the marquee. You want to be able to look back at your life and say,
"Was I happy?"
I'm happy. Because you talk to any old people, Gary Vee talks about it all the time. You talk to any old people in a retirement home, and then the number one thing that comes to their mind, regret. You don't want to have no regrets. You want to live your life balls to the wall, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, what you want to do in your life and what you want to set your mind to go and accomplish. And you're not going to get there if you don't believe in yourself. So believe in yourself, commit to the commitment of consistency. You'll be all right.
I want you to know that's gonna be the title. As soon as I know how to spell it.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Commit to the commitment of consistency.
Yeah, as soon as I learn how to spell, I get it.
Chiseled Adonis, got you. Oh yeah. Say, you want to say any last words?
No, we good.
We good?
I mean, that was the most inspirational thing we gonna get. Unless I start making fun of it, that's what we gonna
drop the mic there, right? All right. Well, this has been to me this is the best episode so far that we've had. And again, brother, we thank you for coming.
The best episode. Every episode we do is the best episode.
Honestly,
until that one day when you just leave me because I say something too far.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that, brother. But again, brother, thank you for coming. This was amazing. This is a really good experience, and hopefully we can have you again in the future because we could make this a recurring thing.
Oh yeah, I mean I live in Brooklyn, so it's not an issue. It's just a 26, 25-minute bike ride over. Not that big a deal.
Not bad at all.
Oh yeah.
Start up your old podcast again. With sports, perhaps. Hold your nuggets.
Yeah, perhaps.
Hold my nuggets.
And maybe we can come on and I don't know. We'll have our people call your people and we'll work this out.
I am my people. I am my people.
As am I.
Yeah. All right. With that, we want to say peace, love, God bless to everyone. Listen out for the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this one. All right.
Oh, on camera. We're on video too.
That was great. That was awesome.
All right.
How long did